Hang him from the yard. Oh, 1 second. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the one, the only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. This is season 2. Season 2 of the Rum Report here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. And it's a special Cinco de Gringo episode. I cannot fucking wait. I have to stop them because after all, it is Taco Tuesday. Shout out LeBron James here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. As always, it's your host, your boy, Rumboyz Robbie, aka the Admiral. I am joined by my co-host, Rumboyz Combat, Jake Miller. Jake the Great. What is good, bro?
Looking forward to Saturday, man. It's gonna be nice to sit back and actually watch some sports. So, especially my favorite sport. But I know we're all happy it's happening. So, but yeah. I'm really excited it's happening.
I have a job again, dude. Like, can you fucking believe it? I get to do play-by-play this Saturday.
Big card too.
Big card. Today is actually practically your episode. There's going to be like a whole segment that you're pretty much going to be piloting. And I mean, I'll just pretty much be along for the commentary. But yeah, dude, I'm fucking stoked for this one. Let's kick off episode 23, season 2. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the wrong boys and girls, what they do. Dilly.
Dilly.
Okay. The way you just cheers the stream, you know what I wish that we didn't have to deal with? Not being able to like smell, right? Because I would love to smell whatever it is that you're drinking. You just did, and I was like, that's probably a really good whiff of whatever. Is that bourbon, whiskey? What are you drinking?
Lefroy Quarter Cask, 48% 10-year.
Ooh. Have you heard of, before we dive into the show, have you heard of Flaviar?
Yes, it's with Whiskey Ambitions. I follow the Bourbonite, the Whiskey Tribe, Whiskey Crusaders, and Bourbon Junkies. And they all work with them for like merchandising and stuff.
I am definitely going to be sending them a pitch. And yeah, dude, I think that's something that is definitely. I think I've been thinking this whole time. That's how you always have booze, man. Because I'm like, this dude, aside from me, never runs out. Anyway, man, let's dive in.
Yeah, I mean, Whiskey Tube's a huge thing, man. The algorithm loves it this year. Yeah, it's good for marketing because there's so many people putting money into it. Like, there's channels that get like 20,000 subs a month.
Man, I'm gonna have to check it out. Make sure that you guys like, comment, subscribe if you are new to the channel. If you guys are not new, bring somebody on board to the pirate ship. First off, we want to start this episode off with, first off, R.I.P. Don Shula, leader of the 72 Dolphins.
He died, but he never had to see the day that somebody went undefeated.
Exactly.
That's one thing he feared most. He never wanted anyone else to do undefeated. Never has to see it. So,
what I loved was that he had got together with the organization and those guys. And I saw this on Peyton's Places, and they would all pop a bottle of some champagne, and they would celebrate whenever a team, wouldn't break their record. And that's something that I love and I found fascinating. Um, to me personally, I mean, I have a story kind of connected to Shula, in that my stepdad, Richard Santiago, um, he, him and my mom, they had went out. He had to do some making up, right? Took my mom out on a very very nice dinner at Mr. Shula's restaurant, the one that he owns right up in Washington D.C. And oddly enough, guess who the fuck is there? Mr. Shula himself. Um, and somehow, some way, my dad and Miss Chula had known each other from back in, like, the old days, like Miami Vice type like days and shit. Walked up and, like, had like a cool ass conversation. My mom had no fucking clue who they were having a conversation with. And, like, when I guess Miss Chula left, my dad, I brought me home an autograph from Mr. Chula, that we have in our storage. And when they came home, she was like, yeah, like, I had no clue who your dad was talking to. And he's like, you don't know who Don Shula is? And I started freaking out, like, Mom, you don't know who the fuck Don Shula is?
Yeah, man.
12 years old, bro. So I
Well,
mean,
that's what he wanted though. He was not a big personality. I don't think he really wanted to be a
no,
big name.
no,
So
he wasn't. But I mean, Greasy and those guys, and then, after Greasy, Moreno, and then all those guys, they hang out in the Miami area. Like, my dad, doing what he did, he knew a lot of famous people, back then. So yeah.
oh, for sure. And that's when the last time they had a fan base for sports, really. Once the Dolphins dynasty died off and the Niners took over, and his coaching tree too. Bill Walsh.
Yeah.
So he really built the next Tom Landry as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean he built the two next coaches, and then Bill Walsh taught Belichick's father, who taught Belichick, and it just kind of worked its way all the way down.
Absolutely, absolutely. We do have new colors for the comments here in season 2. Hope you guys enjoy it. Shout out to Real Deal Fantasy. Shout out to Crazy Mofo. A Boogie fan in his house. Nick said my audio's a little bit choppy. Yeah, I couldn't find my mic. So yeah, we did some cleaning this weekend. So yeah, but fuck yes, let's get wasted. Let's dive into the very next topic. Um, Reports coming out from our homies up there in Buffalo, New York, New York, New York. What up? Report coming out from New York, from the Bills Mafia, that New Era Stadium could ban the sale of alcohol inside the stadium in an attempt to limit trips to the bathroom to assist in social distancing efforts. How are you feeling about this one?
They're going to have fans. That's my question.
Old man TD in the chat, Philly Philly.
But yeah, I don't know. Then they're hoping to have fans. I don't. That's not going to happen to start the year. I'd be very surprised if you have capacity fans in a stadium. So I don't think it matters. To be honest, that might be the only way the people can make money is on a few drinks. But yeah, I'm not thinking there's going to be fans in the stands, let alone a need to eliminate sales. Right? Like, I don't understand why this. Unless he really thinks they're going to go full stadium this year, I don't see any way this is a important idea for him to have. I don't think it'll happen.
So we do have some positive news on the Cinco de Drinko episode, right? And here, watch how I'm explaining this. There are reports, and this is, we're not doctors here, and it's not our fucking job to do any of that. But there are reports that, in emergency cases, right now we're going to enter human trials. But in emergency cases, if this all works out, there'll be a coronavirus vaccine for those scenarios, and then eventually, hopefully, from there, then we can go on to the next phase a couple months down the road, and maybe we can start treating this thing, and hopefully this thing doesn't like fucking mutate, like I've been here, and then get stronger and gets better than our anti-vax drug that we're trying to push out.
Yeah.
I mean, we want to get to the new normal as possible, but I'm gonna be completely fucking honest, okay? I hate this idea. Alrighty,
Yeah,
I
it's dumb if it is. I don't know.
you all right, here's the thing. First off, all right, and we have a chat here, we can take a poll in the chat. How many of you guys would be willing to attend a sporting event, sportscaster? I'm talking to y'all to Periscope, aka Twitter. I'm talking to y'all to YouTube. What's good? How many of y'all would attend a damn sporting event, a public sporting event of that magnitude without there being a vaccine ready? So there's that. So let's already discount all of those people who are like, yeah, fuck that. I'm not even trying to catch it because, mom and pop at home.
Right.
You
And
know,
and people will still go tailgate. I'm sure you want to have fun. Why would you go to a game that can't have all the fans when you could tailgate with people?
mm-hmm.
F-
That's not
Cars have 4G monthly plans. People can literally connect a smart TV to that thing, throw the power in, turn the car on, and pay for the gas, whatever, and watch a game outside with all the friends that they want to go to a game with. Season ticket holders can hang out together. Like, there's no reason to go to the stadium for a game. You could watch all the games with Sunday ticket, it with the power of a car, internet, and car battery, with your friends. Like, no one's gonna volunteer to sit 8 feet apart from everybody and not be able to do anything.
be able to interact. Hola,
Yeah.
feliz Cinco de Mayo to you too. Let's see here. No, dude, I have to agree. Like, if a big play happens, like, if Stephon Diggs goes yard on a fucking go route for like fucking 30 plus yards, I want to cheers beers and fucking hug the person next to me. But yeah, he's on my fantasy team. I'm not a fan of your team, but I just want some money. Like, I want that. I want that feeling. I
Yeah.
want to get back to daps and hugs. And fucking sometimes I even miss the mean months of soda shrugs. I want to get back to normal life. There
Or
is,
making fun of your own team. Even that's fun in the stands too. It'd be like,
yeah,
this running back's an idiot. The hole was on the left and he ran straight down the middle. Come on, what's he doing? And you can make fun of the player screwing up, making more money than you. Like, that's part of football. Like, but yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
it, it's
Oh, thank you, Madison.
times.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Madison with the Daladono high. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you. Don't know how to give me money. Do. Shout out to GMM Network. I see Give Me Money Network up in the chat on the Rumboyz Fans Network crew. But yeah, man, I don't like this idea. How am I not going to go to the game and not enjoy a beer? I get that you want to limit social distancing. Figure out a different way that I can still get fucked up in the process so that I can forget that I have to be, how do I say this, completely just ignoring the other people around me. Like, it's bad enough you're going to sit me 8 seats apart. So I'm just looking at the next guy down the road like, yeah, touchdown! Woo! Like, that's already going to be awkward and weird as fuck.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to get any. This is going to show who actually is good at calling a football game and who's not good at it. Because half the job is letting the cheers ring through, or the boos ring through when a running back fumbles or something, and then you react to it as fans, and you see the fans' reaction and work off that. It's going to show who actually is good at their job. And Romo, I think, could do this fine. I'm concerned about like Chris Collinsworth calling a game without fans and trying to deal with that the entire time. But
We'll see.
or they might not even have announcers. You never know. They literally might not have announcers in the building. That'd be.
No, wait. If that happens, that increases my value in this world.
That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah.
Yo, I'm completely okay with that. I'm completely okay with the NFL being like, you know what? It's too close to have you two next to each other in the booth. So you're going to call the game from home. Don't worry. We've seen this done before. They're just really dope.
We'll give you Spectrum, wired internet, a tower. It'll be fine, but you're going to be from home.
Bro, what's going to be so great is that people like me and so many others in this industry have already been doing this and have already been practicing this. That we're going to have a fucking leg up on them.
Oh, for sure.
I would love it if that happened. Oh, now what's good, Chris? Mr. Collinsworth. Let me slide in here. The playing field is now level, motherfucker. Like I'm okay with that. Like I love that for free enterprise. Man. I love that for marketing. Sure. I love everything about that. So fuck yes. It's level. Eat your freaking heart out, Al Michaels. You got to compete against the Rumboyz.
Oh, him with the internet would be hilarious. I'd love it.
Oh, I'd love it.
77-year-old man trying to figure out the internet.
Sitting there while I was in a goddamn streaming chair trying to like hold a mic. So I'm with this, man. Which actually there is a podcast that they do that really well. Shout out to the Dirty Sports, Sports Talk Network or Sports Talk Show. They're pretty dope. They do that shit. Let's get into the next topic. We're going back to Miami with this topic here. The Miami Dolphins are planning to have fans in the stands. They plan to have people into the stadium at separate times through separate entrances, and then also exit the stadium in a church-style essence, row by row. Thoughts on the idea?
Again, who wants to go to a game like that? I understand it. The governor cleared it.
You're fucking awesome, Nick. Continue. I'm sorry, bro.
But I don't understand why fans would want to go to a game like that. No one goes to the Miami games anyways, right? The Hurricanes are this show in that town, and that's a bunch of college kids. Like, I don't think people really go to the games enough to even have this be an issue.
The Miami Dolphins had, during their tailgate last year, during the normal era, one almost had their stadium name bought out by bangbros.com.
Yes.
Two had fucking strippers in the parking lot. They were fools out there, parking lot pimping, parking lot tipping, which probably inspired the very first drive-through strip clubs that are happening in states like Oregon right now.
How many of those went to the game? That's my question. They don't go to the game. That's their first stop at a party, and then go elsewhere.
Like, bro, it's Miami. It's Miami. If there's
too much to do, man.
If there's something that you're right, there is something.
I mean, if you're going to allow a football game, there's going to be parties in the clubs, right? So what are people going to choose? Look, unless they get really good. But
is someone in the chat could look up Miami Dolphins stadium attendance? I mean, I'm sure their attendance isn't like through the fucking roof, but I mean, at the same time, like I'm sure, like if you compare them to like the Bongos, my Redskins. You know, if the Redskins aren't winning, we're not going outside in DC. We don't give a fuck.
Man, the AFC North, man. Come on. Pack the stadiums no matter what.
Bro, look. Dolphins.
Well, again, Ohio and Pennsylvania are like literal football states where it started, so I guess that they're always going to have it in their blood.
Bro, this piece, I can see this in the future on Rumboyz.com. This piece is going to have fucking Coronavirus Valley, or it's going to go Florida Man, fucking Collins, Coronavirus Valley. Like, it's going to be exactly that. Florida gives no fucks. I'm excited to see how they do this because Florida is definitely a max capacity of all things type of state. We need max capacity of beaches. We need max capacity of spring breakers during a pandemic. We need we're going to be the first state to open up, goddamn it. We need max capacity of tigers from goddamn Carol Baskin. That bitch Carol Baskin. Like, bro, Florida is that shit, man. They do not care. It's really sucks for people graduating this May, all those years, and no real graduation ceremony. Fuck. Bro, I know.
In high school, college is a really long time. Those things take forever.
Yeah.
Well, for my commencement, I actually had to go to a field camp that night, so I was like home for like 5 hours and flew out. So I was like, get it over with. I would have to fly to Wyoming and have to go 6 weeks in the woods. So it's like, all right, this is good. This is cool. It's my last thing of technology for the next 6 weeks, and then I lived in a cabin. So my commencement was like, I'd rather just be flying there now instead of red eye.
It really just tripped me out that you just said the word field camp like that. Like I was like, what the fuck?
It
Wait,
was mapping the Black Hills Reservoir Mountain, whatever. They don't know what it is, but it's basically I walked around mountains for 8 hours a day.
you said that sentence like all together. Like
I don't know. It's no one knows what it is, but it's like figure out what happened here to make this giant cool mountain fall through like this. By the way, here's a fault line, and this is like a 12-mile walk. So walk around and figure this out all day. Did you figure something out? You've been doing this for 20 years. I have no idea what happened here. How are we gonna know? But yes, we have. But yes, here this letter's like there's stuff on paper. Grade it.
so photography camp.
Basically, and I left geology.
One time at map camp, says Jake. So
It was
we're
6 weeks, no cable. It felt weird. No cable, no video games for 6 weeks.
Oh, bro, fucking go to ROTC camp. That shit sucked. Officer training school for ROTC camp. I was like, yo, this is bullshit. And I was like, yep, definitely not going to become an officer. I'm on a list. And then that was bullshit. So yeah.
ROTCs? You were almost a ROTC?
I did JROTC in high school. Watch my interview with Bogard. It's the GMM Network. Check out the interview. I know it's a 3-hour interview, but like you can skip through it. I mean, there may be parts that you'll hear that you're like, yo, okay, he just said some shit that I need to figure the fuck out. Like you can skip through the fluff. Like, and yeah, I tell my whole story from beginning to fucking like where I'm at now. And I didn't realize how intriguing my own, like, I don't mean to sound cocky, like suck my own dick. But I didn't realize like how intriguing my own self was and like how much shit I personally went through until like I listened to myself talk. I know that Gary Vee or like no one else like goes like this, but I just had to check it out. But no, let's get into the next topic, bro. I guess we don't like the Miami Dolphins doing this, do we? Or we don't really give a fuck if the Dolphins do it.
I don't care if they do it. As a fan, I would not want to go to a game like this. And that's one of the things where there's more in Miami to do if you can have a football game with fans that I think most people would want to do. You know what I mean?
I feel like if it's football, like football is the one sport that the American public is generally going to gamble with that. Like you're going to literally be having motherfuckers like shooting dice against themselves up against the garage in their freaking driveway. Like, do I want to go to the game this week? Oh, 7-11. I'm going to the game.
Oh yeah, man. But for the fans that can't go, this is another kind of topic that we'll quickly go run through, I guess. Are you gonna have like fan cams of like families watching the game because you can't have big people cheering?
No, they should do that. They should definitely do that. Damn, oh, Jake, why'd you say that on air? Fuck us. We're doing it this season.
Well, I mean, tell ESPN like, hey, can you get volunteer? Can you volunteer to have like this family of like a mom, dad, 2 kids watching a game and cheering together? Because we don't have fans in the stands. Let's have people watching the game.
I have the capability to do this year. Rum Zone, the fan cam on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network is going to be activated. We will have a fan cam. You'll be able to join me during the live broadcast. You'll be able to react to plays. You'll be able to talk your shit. You'll be able to talk about fantasy. We're going to open it up to the fans this year. NFL Rum Zone, the 8-hour streams come back, baby.
Speaking of Rum Zone, why isn't it called the Rumcast? New season, new name?
Well,
Rum cask? Rum cask? Think about it. Rum's made in a cask.
We might do that. We might do that. You know what? We don't know. Stay tuned.
I just thought about it because I was like, rum's made in a cask, right? So we make it rum cask. Makes sense, you know? I don't know.
Figure it out. We'll figure it the fuck out. I had to do the item gay size right there.
Rum Zone is the Sunday calling of the game. That's already taken as a name. The Rum Zone has its own segment already, so we can't reuse the same segment name.
Oh yeah, that's big facts. So yeah, I guess we don't give a fuck either way what happens in Florida. What happens in Florida? Hopefully, it stays in Florida.
Except Jorge Masvidal and all the UFC fighters there. They
Yeah,
can go to events.
Fight Island, guys. By the way, later in the show, we do have real life sporting event picks for you. We do have
We
real
do.
life bets for you. Stay tuned. Stay fucking tuned. Does Dak play for Dallas next year following the signing of Andy the Red Rocket Dalton? I'm sorry. Everyone in Dallas is getting paid but Dak. Thoughts?
I mean, he's franchise tagged. If I were him, I'd play. I get if they were gonna make him play on that 3 year deal, but 3 year whatever $200,000 deal because he was such a late round pick. But yeah, if you're franchise tag, play, improve it. Bet on yourself at this point. I mean, I understand you want to get paid, but you definitely have to work on the idea of I'm not going to be Le'Veon Bell and turn down $30 million.
Yeah. I mean, there's that. There's that. I'm on the clock in my dynasty draft right now. I need to
I
secure.
mean, do you?
Yeah, I got to secure a fucking third QB.
What are your options? Throw it out to the chat, man.
Well, I mean, my options are honestly. I mean, we're at the point of like fucking Case Keenum. Like, it doesn't matter what the chat's gonna say. I already know what I'm gonna do. I'm picking Andy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm picking Andy Dalton right here.
If it's between Tyrod Taylor and Case Keenum, just take one and close your eyes. Actually, that's definitely a Tyrod Taylor pick because he might start 5 games.
Dynasty League is 30-round draft. Like, bro, I've already cleaned up on all the rookies that I wanted from this year. I got the rookies from last. I got rookies that I wanted from last year. My veteran. So here's my starting lineup: Alvin Kamara, Alvin Kamara, Aaron Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, Mark Andrews, Aaron Rodgers is my quarterback. We know that Aaron Rodgers is going to ball no matter who the fuck what. We get the Jordan Love conversation. At flex, I can literally either put Mark Ingram, Devin Singletary, or James Conner. I'm going to trade James Conner away for a fucking 2021 pick next year.
I would have loved that team. Really love that team if there was no pick at running back for the Packers. Because apparently they don't like Aaron Jones enough to run him too much because they draft running backs.
Bro, I got Henry Ruggs as my rookie wide receiver and Laviska Shenault as another rookie wide receiver. Cole Kmet is a tight end premium league as well. It's a tight end premium league. I got Cole Kmet, probably the number one tight end coming out of this year's draft for rookies. I got Cole Kmet. I'm going to just let him sit on my bench and just develop him. He's just going to develop and build for the next couple of years. Ronald Jones, he's going to get a couple of touches this year, and I'm going to sell him for a high draft pick next year. Jalen Hurts is my QB. Carson Wentz is going to get hurt at some fucking point.
At this point, you're literally saying, Carson, you're going to get hurt. Can you only sprain your ankle and not break your ankle? Just don't miss the whole season. Just miss like 6 games, please. Yep. That'll be fine.
Marvin Jones Jr., Antonio Golden, Chase Edmonds, Kenyon Drake if you ever go down. I already got that. The person that has Kenyon Drake, they're going to want to get Chase Edmonds to get a trophy this year. They're going to sell me picks next year. So I'm going to go down and take their picks next year for that piece. Golden Tate, Ginn Jr., Tyrell Williams, I'm a receiver. Darwin or Albert O, Fat O. I went Big O because he already has that connection with Drew Lock and from Mizzou in Denver. So I'm like, oh, this is a wet dream. And then Darwin Thompson out of Kansas City in the 22nd round.
They have too many weapons in Kansas City, man. It's scary.
Hey, yo, big shout out to Megan Sino. Thank you for watching. Thank you for checking out the show. Make sure you share it. Make sure you retweet it. You Snapchat it. You Instagram it. You share with all of your friends. Big love, big appreciation, and much love. Yo, Pat, what's good? I see you in the chat. Running back Cam Akers for the ball in LA for the Rams. I almost got Cam Akers, but then someone took him from me around before me. I missed out on Akers, and I missed on Justin Herbert for my rookie dynasty QBs. Let's get into the next topic. Does Dak, or do we get into the Dak conversation? Yeah, does Dak play for Dallas next year following the signing of Andy Dalton? Everyone's getting paid in Dallas but Dak. Well, I think you were in the middle of your
We
take.
kind of started it just because we saw it in the chat, but
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, $30 million, man, you're gonna play. I don't. It sounds like, oh, man up, Dak. Know what you're worth and hold out. But like $30 million to play football for 1 year and get paid another $30 million the year after. That sounds like a 6 year, $30 million contract to me, and that's something you can't turn down.
So can
So
I ask you a question?
yeah,
I'm sorry. Yes, we're good, Pat. We're good. I hope you and your family's good. I can't wait till you and your homie come on the show, bruh. Jake, my question. Before you and proceed. Um, son, hang on.
Um,
Hmm.
Charlotte, he's down in Chelsea.
Okay, ask mommy if you can go outside and play.
She's not here.
She went to the grocery store. Oh, well, then hell no, he ain't going outside to play until mommy gets back. All right, cool. Go ahead and run your tape.
all right. Yeah, I don't. $30 million is so like, oh well, yeah, turn it down. You're gonna get that for 5 years. When you're getting paid less than $1 million a year as a late round pick, you're taking the money and playing football. There's no way he's gonna hold out. That'd be ridiculous for him too. He's hardly made $1 million in his career after taxes. He's gonna turn down $30 million. I don't see it as a reasonable option for him.
So I'm guessing you're not siding with Lorenzo Alexander in the essence that he feels that Dak should maybe get tagged this year, just take the tag.
I think you should. I think you should take the tag and play on a big money 1 year deal and get paid later and take the chance. That's my thing. Because he's a fourth round pick. He's hardly made $1 million in his career. That $30 million is life changing for him at this point. Like,
All right. So me looking at this from the scope of an NFL GM, the signing of Andy Dalton, to me, what that shows is, and then releasing Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush, who knows the playbook inside and fucking out. Cooper Rush probably knows that playbook better than his own goddamn dick. Cooper Rush getting waived, Andy Dalton coming in, everyone else in Dallas getting paid, but Dak, CeeDee Lamb getting this honor of wearing 88. This is looking like Dak's going to leave. This is looking like we don't really give a fuck what you do at this point. The deal is on the table. The deal is on the table. And if you do not sign it by July, young Prescott, well, then I'm sorry, Dakota. You have to take your black ass out of goddamn Texas at this goddamn moment. YouTube's going to flag me for that. And I think that that's the way that it's going to be looked at. I think that that's the way that Jerry is looking at it. And I think that's the way that Jerry's approaching it. Andy Dalton expressed a deep honor and a deep pleasure of working with someone like Mike McCarthy. It was not the same as to what I saw with Jameis Winston taking over the New Orleans job. So I mean, with their, I worry. I think there's something in the works. I worry for Dak. Dak's going to get picked up regardless. He's not going to have the Cam Newton situation. But I worry for Dak in terms of his future as a Cowboy.
I mean, maybe, yeah. I think next year he's a Cowboy, though. I don't see how he turns down $30 million to play football.
So, hey, spoiler alert, Pat, I wasn't even trying to name drop. Spoiler alert, we're gonna have a dope ass session.
And yes, Pat, that's your comment. I think he makes a lot more off the field than he does on the field. I don't think he's making $30 million off the field next year. NFL players sadly don't get the endorsements that NBA players do.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They don't.
I think Odell was the first guy to get 10 million in endorsements for his shoes, or maybe get like 10 million endorsements for a season a couple of years ago. which is ridiculous to me. The biggest sport can't get a guy to make 20 million in endorsements, but whatever. I
Shout out to
guess
Odell. Shout out to Odell for his new his new health supplement line. I'm really digging a lot of his ads lately. The Brand X. I don't know if you've heard of it. Brand X is pretty dope. I haven't tried it yet. But I'm gonna order some. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna reach out and I'm like, yo, do you guys think people like pump this shit for you if I like it? Of course, I'm not gonna put my name besides not a goddamn thing that I don't like. But yeah, man, his ad game is pretty dope. I didn't know he was into the herbal supplement game.
he's probably the biggest star off the field in the NFL, to be honest with you. Not on the field because people don't love him, but he makes the most money off the field, I bet. He's the first guy with the shoe, man, in the NFL history, right? First, like, real selling shoe in the NFL.
Yeah, them Beckhams, they sold.
Never saw him, but the fact that he made 10 million on a shoe in the NFL is amazing.
When you got a rapper like Kevin Gates shouting you out for them, I mean, yeah, that helps. But no, I mean, in terms of the Dallas situation, with Dalton and Dak, I'm just super iffy on it. In terms of Dak's standpoint, because I want that young man to get paid. I want that young man to see a payday. I've been saying it on this show, and people are like, "Why are you saying that on your show when you're a fucking Redskins fan, bro?" Because one of a freaking football analyst, and my job is to analyze things 100% completely unbiasedly. So that's first off step one. Step two, I have no qualms or no problems with the player getting his fucking money. Um, Seeing guys' happiness on their face signing their rookie deals, um, I know what joy that brings to them. So a guy not getting a payday right now that honestly deserves a payday, it's beyond me. The fact that everyone else around him is getting paid and he's not, this is a serious fucking ordeal to me. So, I mean, there's that. Jake, unmute you. There we go.
I'm typing.
I know.
Not Dak. I meant OBJ. Correct.
Hey, you meant OBJ. You meant OBJ. Type to the chat. But I mean, so that's how I feel. You're right. Deion Sanders had his shoe deal. Barry Sanders had his shoe deal. Jordan did drop some cleats, leaves defense. So y'all right. Megatron. Hell yeah.
I've been good, Pat. I've been good. Hoping we get some football too this year, so we can actually watch your Cowboys.
Yeah, hey, the league is looking like it's on track. So I mean, that's good news for both you and me. Next topic here on the Rumboyz Fans Network. Make sure you guys also check out Milk and Honey CBD Sports Cream. This shit, upon first application, was just simply amazing. I love it. I love this product. Big shout out to Milk and Honey CBD Sports Cream. They have tons of other topicals and herbal remedies, but this is what I use to keep my body in shape and what I started using. So hell yeah, yes, I know Dakota Rain Prescott. Marshawn Lynch says his agent and the Seattle Seahawks are in talks. Do you want to see the beast mode return to the NFL?
If he wants to, I guess I want to see him do what he wants. But he was making good money in the cannabis industry, right? Doing his own thing.
Cannabis, women's lingerie, athletic fitness clothing.
Whatever athletes get into, anything they can put their name on. Yeah, man. He was making money off the field. I don't know why he's going back.
Yeah,
probably
in the Bay Area handing out beast mode face masks. I love the marketing. I'm probably about to do the same thing with Rumboyz.com face masks.
I mean, at this point, I'm sure he has more off the field options and investments than he could even count. So I don't think he needs to play football, and I really think he should just sit back and not take more hits. But if he wants to play, I guess let him play. He doesn't demand a big salary at this point.
No, true. I think he just loves Seattle. He wants revenge for not getting the ball for one. I like the fact that the way that this question and the way that this got brought up was Scott Van Pelt, Sports Center, uh, via FaceTime. First off, if you guys haven't seen the interview was dope because you kind of see Scott wanting to be like, yeah, fucking Marshawn, I feel the same. Like, and like you can see Scott Van Pelt trying to so hard, like, I can't get SEC regulation. I can't get SEC regulation. And there's one part of the interview, he's like, Marshawn, Jordan just on TV cursing, you curse too. He's like, I don't know what we're doing these days. And Marshawn was like, hey, what's good, bro? Motherfucker. Yeah, I think that's dope. I mean, it's a fucking hilarious interview. It's a great interview. I want to see more beast mode. We all need some more beast mode in our lives at this time. I like that dude's handing out the beast mode face mask. I'm probably going to, invest a couple face masks and my hand those out. Then I'm probably going to put them up on Rumboyz.com for every mask sold. We're going to send a mask to a doctor, nurse, ER worker. I don't know the proper politically correct terms because I'm not a doctor, but we're going to send a mask to see you help as well. So yeah, I love it. I want some more of it. Marshawn should never not be in the NFL. Frank Gore is still fucking playing. Why not Marshawn?
I like the segue.
I did not do that on purpose, and that was not planned. But I love that you love it. Speaking of one Frank Gore, he signs a 1-year deal with the New York goddamn Jets. How are you feeling about the Aegis Wonder still being in the game, bro?
So I hope he's doing this because he still wants to play football and loves the game. But something tells me he's still playing because he wants to get the second all-time rushing mark. And he's 1,380 yards away, I saw earlier, or pretty close to it. And on that pace, it'll take like 3 years for him because he's a limited back in terms of carries. He might get 100 touches total or 100 snaps, just not a big-time volume guy. But, yeah, if he's playing for that record, I don't love it. But if he still wants to play football, and I think he's on a team that isn't really the best right now. So I don't think it's about winning. But so it's not a title. But I really hope he's playing because he wants to, and they're going to give him a job, and not because he needs the money, and he'll play anywhere. I hope that's why he's playing. I am concerned he's playing because he needs the money at this point, which is not a good sign.
Do you think that this affects Le'Veon Bell at all?
I mean, he might get 100 carries. He's been around that like 110 to like 115 mark on average, right? The last couple of years, touches total.
I have to look.
I think last year he had as low as 115 in his career. So I'd guess he gets 100 touches. If you think that affects Bell, I guess so. But I don't see Bell taking 80% of the snaps or 70% of the snaps anyways as a back in today's league. And I don't think Adam Gase likes him anyways. Or the Jets don't like him anyways. So I really don't see him being there and not affecting it. I think Bell just has a bad situation where the coach doesn't want him, and he'll find a way to not give him the ball. I think this is a coaching problem with the running back, not the player coming in. I think they're just like, we're going to find a way to pass the ball when we should run it just because we don't like you. And I really think it's at that point.
So Le'Veon, I feel like once he got paid, he got lazy. Once he signed that deal, he was like, okay, this is what I'm going to get, and this is how it's going to be. Fine, fuck it, what it is, what it is.
Different take, I like it. I was blaming the coach. You took it more than the player.
Well, I just feel that. I also got burned by this guy in fantasy. the one time that he should be a top, free
when he didn't show up, or when he played like he didn't want to show up?
No, when he didn't show up. Like when he was still a Steeler. And, bro, I was one of those people that drafted Le'Veon Bell and was like, we're good. And then it was like, Le'Veon Bell holdout. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean Le'Veon Bell holdout? Le'Veon Bell holdout was like the coronavirus.
Le'Veon Bell literally funded the Miami economy that's offseason by himself.
Fuck Le'Veon Bell. I've hated Le'Veon Bell since then. since
But
then.
yeah, I don't think anything could save Bell's career in New York. They don't like him. They don't want him there. It seems like he doesn't get along with the coaching staff. The GM that wanted him is gone. It just seems like he's gonna fade away and get his money, which good for him. I mean, he earned it, I guess.
Bring back by committee. Bring back by committee. Bring back by committee.
Oh, you think they're gonna split carries? Ooh,
Everything. I think that everything in the NFL is about to do RBDC.
man, I can't see Frank Gore getting 150 carries at his age. I'd be shocked.
I think he's going to get 150 carries on him, but he's going to get some carries. That's step one. Yeah. Step two, he's still fucking Frank Gore. Step three, he's still in the league to, I think what we said earlier, Frank Gore Jr., Frank Gore backfield, he wants to be able to hop on the same field as his kiddo. So I think that's a thing. I think that's something that
How old's his son? Is he close? Is his son like in college or something?
He's a freshman.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So he's a freshman right now.
Is he at, where'd he go? I don't even know where Frank went to college. I should. Florida State? I feel like that's wrong.
I don't know.
But, I feel like his, yeah, that'd be hilarious because people joke about LeBron's kid playing on the same team or same league as him, but having an NFL player do that would be even more impressive.
Yeah, no, that would be super impressive. I mean, so there's that backstory to it too. I think that is a big piece of it too.
There's questions if he's a Hall of Famer still. It's unbelievable. They're like, oh, no, he never was a top 10 back. He's consistently over an era. He's just consistent, and he's like he's like a solid back,
He's gonna be a Hall of Fame back.
And I was like, longevity is a Hall of Fame at this point. I get he wasn't a top 5 back, but like when you're a top 7 back your entire career until you're 34 years old, it's a pretty good career.
I personally think that this does affect like Le'Veon Bell. Even more. I'm already telling people to try and avoid getting Le'Veon Bell unless
I would avoid him regardless. Yeah, I mean, I don't trust him even with this addition.
He went to Southern Miss. Nick O'Brien asked, "How do you think Lamar Jackson will play this season? Fucking lights out. Go get your."
I think he'll be less impressive on the ground, and I think he'll mature as a passer, so he won't blow up the fantasy rushing stats. But I think he'll be a better quarterback with probably 400 hopefully he gets 400 to 500 less rushing yards, and really evolves his game.
By the way, make sure you guys do drop your views over on Sportscaster. Show us love over on Sportscaster.
But yeah, I would love to see him get 500 less rushing yards, turn those to passing yards, and slowly change his game to be a dual threat to the point of you can't stop me when I throw the ball, and you cannot load the box on me because I can destroy you. So I really hope he develops a little bit and doesn't break records as a rusher this year. But if he does it, good for fantasy owners, right?
Yeah.
So both benefit both ways.
But I mean, there is a competition, so to speak, happening on. Actually, not even so to speak. All right, fuck it. Boys and girls, listen. There's a competition going down on Sportscaster. I would love the opportunity and the pleasure to sit down with one Bob Costas, and interview him, talk about all the amazing stories he's covered, all the amazing analysis that he's covered, and just kind of chop up, get to know him on maybe a deeper level. So throw us your views over on sportscaster.com. Download the app if you have an iPhone or Apple devices in your home. Download the Sportscaster, that's without an E at the end, app. And yeah, I'm trying to get out there and plug in some more big time interviews and some big time names to our resume. So yeah.
By the way, the best interview I ever saw by a sports reporter was the Bob Costas Studio 42 Willie Mays interview.
That's something that we can bring up and that we could probably tag team.
It was so great.
If we can pull it off, and if you guys can make sure that we're getting those top premium views, by the end of May, then we can sit down, we can chop it up with the man, and that'd actually be a pretty dope birthday present to me. June 14th is my birthday. That'd be a pretty dope birthday present, is to sit down with Bob Costas, interview him. Me and Jake, we chop it up with them as reporters ourselves, and just see what's good. Let's dive into the next topic, bro. We're actually making some damn good fucking time. Oh my God, I love it. The NFL has chose to miss, just completely cut out the international games amidst this pandemic. Big deal, little deal, or no deal.
Um, I mean, it's really not that big of a deal in terms of like gaining an audience in that country because at this point, I don't think they're going to open up. They have it worse than us. They have a subway system that's spreading this worse than we could imagine over their entire country. So there's no way they're going to let fans gather at any events. I mean, they're not even going to have soccer, I don't think, at this point, which is a huge deal for them. But my concern is the Jaguars can't win a game now. I took a shot. I had to do it. That's my take.
So Jaguars, we can automatically drop you with 2 games.
2 wins.
Where,
It's two wins. No.
or yeah, what would be wins or what? Yeah, I don't. But yeah, the Jags. That's bad luck for you guys. Because you're probably looking at moving to London anyways. Thank God we did not move a team to London or Mexico City. Or you put a team in Toronto for the fuck's sake of it.
I mean, the Collins have their wrestling promotion. They don't need you anymore.
Fuck, that's fucked up. Either way, I don't. I hate it from the standpoint of I want the game of football to globalize. I want the game of football to have the same attraction, the same aura that basketball has had. Football, yes, be it a little bit more barbaric, so maybe a little bit more apprehensive for a lot of other cultures to grasp and want to put their hands on and understand. But I think that it detracts us, it derails us from globalizing the game. It's bad enough that we are one of the very few sports that's not an Olympic sport. I mean, there's plenty of sports that aren't Olympic sports. Like we're one of the few like important sports that they're like, yeah, fuck that. And yeah. I get it. Price of equipment, there would be price of equipment for teams, the Olympic committee to get the referees, that'd be a whole fucking shebang. They would have to do the organization to get that down would be fucking intense.
It's also a cultural shift of the guys who could play football are considered too tough for football because they have their sport in rugby. And at that point in time, the All Blacks are way more popular than the NFL could ever be. All over that side of the pond. There's no debate there. So they have their own version of it, and America kind of made a mockery of their sport in a way. And we love it, but it's not. I mean, we have punters. I mean, the top 3 punter in the league is a dude from Australia. So, but we don't really have traditional athletes willing to come over. And the one that tried was for the Niners and was given 0 shot. So I don't think it's going to gain attraction when we shun that sport's best athlete away, which doesn't help the cause.
I mean, no. I mean, we bring kickers from the Australian League all the time. We bring in Australian kickers all the time. I mean, now the NFL has this international program. I guess the NFL's international program and the NFL should maybe focus being that they're not going to have international games to actually present to the fans and bring our talent over there and showcase what we do here. Highlight that international program super fucking heavy. Like, if you come out with a stud superstar from God knows whatever fucking stand it is, whatever country that you choose, and you make that person the star. But the NBA did it. The NBA did it generation after generation, and making someone the star of the NBA. We got Bird, we got Magic, and then Jordan comes along. Oh, now he has the 3, so now Jordan's the guy. Jordan's definitely the guy. Like the Battle Pistons felt like they had to beat Jordan because they knew that the NBA was going to make him a mogul. We should use this time frame to, if we're going to market the game internationally, if we can't bring it to them internationally, bring you to us internationally.
Well, the hard part is the NBA hasn't done that yet either. In a way, like I'm on record of saying I think LeBron is the greatest basketball player of all time, just at playing basketball. But I think Giannis is better than him now. And they're still marketing LeBron. They should move on to Giannis. He's the next guy. He's younger. They
bro.
should Luca. There, he's the guy. Get away from LeBron. Stop giving him the attention. Put the attention on the younger guys. It's
But the
time.
NBA still markets those guys in a capacity. The NFL
But
does
yeah, make them the guys. You made LeBron the face. You made Kobe the face. Make these guys the face. Make LeBron the old guy. Please, it's time, NBA. I love LeBron. It's time to move on. Like you have two international dudes you should sponsor the game with, but you're not. And
but the
I doubt football will anytime
pressure
soon.
on them to do that. Like the NBA is loved worldwide and has been since the '92
Yeah.
Dream Team. So like, the NBA has years of a resume, so they don't have to push that envelope. They don't have to push.
Have an All-Star game in Greece, please. If when this all clears up, move the All-Star game to Greece with Giannis starring it.
Dude, that'd be fucking badass.
Or I don't know where Luca's from. I should. I kind of forgot. He played in Spain. Have the All-Star game in Spain for Luca, where he was 15 years old and starring. Like,
Dude.
just do that type of thing and really embrace your two best players in the next 5 years are both out of this country. So
you know what you're explaining from a marketing standpoint, coming from pretty much not just CEO but chief marketing officer as well, CMO, bro. That mission is significantly easier for the NBA to accomplish because you're talking about
you have players already that are the top of the game. That's the easy part. Yeah.
Video game cover. You're talking about a fucking printing his face on a ticket sale. Couple commercial shoots and McDonald's. The NFL cannot like we were so close, and I was loving. A lot of people hated the London games. A lot of people hated the Mexico City games. Me,
I didn't watch them, man. I'm not gonna lie, but they're good for the brand. Yeah,
I loved it as a businessman because I'm like, we're expanding, and I also like the fandom and how they treated their sports, and they brought their culture into our sport that is our culture. And you got people, when the Houston Texans are down in fucking Mexico City, you got fans with laser pointers and fucking mirrors.
Mexico City is ready for football. I don't know about London just yet because they had a game and they had like a split fan base to the point you had like Browns, Steelers, like Miami fans. It's just randomized. Everyone went to one NFL game, so it was not a fan base yet. But they're not ready for a team because of the travel. But Mexico can have a team right now. I don't see any reason why not.
Mexico, yeah, they're fine. Mexico and the way they embrace the competitiveness and so on and so forth. With overseas, like with like the UK, with like the London games,
you're playing 8 straight home games and going to the US 8 straight weeks. That's the hard part.
Not even just that. There's such an influx of families, bro, that are prior military service that live over there that have shows, I was stationed over there. I came back stateside. I don't like it here in America. I'm going back. There's such an influx of different fans due to American influence between the back and forth travel that you're right, man. You're absolutely right, Jake. There's going to be tons of different fucking jerseys. A sea of different looking things. You think about all the active duty family members that as soon as the NFL comes to town, they are like, yep, just so you know, First Sergeant, I'm taking off this weekend. I'm using my leave. You said use it or lose it, right? All right, well, I'm not going to be here this weekend.
In the Jags-Titans game, there was a dog pound. Literally, dudes in a dog mask and Browns jerseys drinking beer, acting as the overseas dog pound for a game that the Browns were in. It's like they love football, but like I don't know if a team can work just because the logistics and travel are so tough. I don't know if it can ever work as a.
I to London because you guys are one, and you spoke about this on the GM Network when you were on Bogart's show. You broke down the history of the Browns, so you know this better than I do. You guys have been around so goddamn long that
Jim Brown is an international movie star, and he made the NFL popular, renowned overseas at that point. But
so and they're so deeply rooted in culture and history over there, and they appreciate it so much more than us.
But the teams just, I don't know, the team thing can work. I don't see a team wanting to stay 8 weeks, play 8 games, have a bye week, have 2 weeks to adjust to the time, and play 8 games in the States and go back for the playoffs. Because if you get a home playoff game, you're not going to fly a team out for a week to play one playoff game. It makes no sense. It can't happen. But I'm glad they love football and they watch it on pay-per-view over there, actually. So they love football. Good for them.
Who would win 3-on-3 basketball game? Larry Bird, Yao Ming, and Michael Jordan versus LeBron James, Shaq, and Kobe. Well, LeBron, Shaq, and Kobe, I think that,
I
Michael's
think
gonna
LeBron. I'm going 1-on-1 here. LeBron would definitely outplay Bird. I think. Kobe and Jordan, I would give Jordan a slight edge just because he was a bigger guy. And I think the difference is Shaq would destroy Yao.
I don't know. I think Kobe, and Jordan, that's so close that you're sitting
Yeah,
there.
I think the Yao and Shaq would be the
Shaq
would kill him.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even play. They would literally just say, "Here you go, Shaq, dominate. We don't have to play." Like,
if we're playing '90s rules, then yeah, I'm taking Shaq down there and LeBron as big as he is.
Yeah, I don't see Yao competing with Shaq in any era. To be honest, you could always bully people in the paint, and Shaq can always bully people in the paint.
Just give me 1 second.
I actually would like to see, instead of Shaq, maybe somebody like David Thompson throw in there. I don't know, but another Hall of Fame center that actually earned it and wasn't an ambassador. It'd be fun. Half jerseys? What?
I'm just putting it up there. So let's go ahead. Let's dive into our next topic. Are the Pacers tanking for Trevor Lawrence by not drafting a QB this year, bro?
I don't think Bill Belichick knows how to tank.
My take exactly. Go ahead.
So he took a old broken Browns quarterback backfield and led them to 9 wins. And then we decided to move franchises, which is great. And that whole thing. Not happy about that. But Belichick wins. He tries to win. He could fail, and you could tell he's trying to win. And you could see, even when he loses, he made the right choice. It just didn't work out. He is not going to tank for anybody. I think he's convinced he could turn Stidham into a 25 touchdown, 5 interception guy and make the playoffs next year. I don't think he's giving up at all.
I absolutely believe that. I
don't agree with it. I think he thinks that.
Yeah, people are like, oh, well, we didn't draft a quarterback. He's going to try and tank for Trevor Lawrence. If there is one person on this motherfucking earth that is
he does not know that word. No.
That is absolutely 100% Bill Belichick. Plain and simple. So there's that right there. I don't think Bill Belichick is ever trying to think, no matter who the fuck the player is, that player on the left field could be Jesus Christ's goddamn self. And
I can find a second round value right there. We don't need that. I got a second round guy waiting for you.
Bruh.
Actually, I'll trade that first round pick if I do get to show. I'll find a second round guy, and I'll get 2 second round guys to replace that pick. Like, he's that competitive where he thinks he's so much smarter than everyone, which he is most of the time. But, I think he just finds value in a draft of, like, we don't need this guy. It's just not that important. Like, we could find somebody else.
It's fucking hilarious to me. It's completely hilarious to me that people want to entertain the idea that he would actually purposely try and lose. Like, you don't think that fucking Jarrett Stidham has been being coached up in this very moment? Let me tell you something about Jarrett Stidham. I know for a goddamn fact that he's been being coached up from the goddamn moment that he got drafted. Don't believe me?
Yep.
Go through my content and check the interview.
And let's not talk about how Brady was an elite quarterback last year. No, he wasn't. He was not an elite quarterback last year at all. Actually, the offense was a problem last year. The defense won games for them. So, Belichick tends to be a defensive guy, right? I think their defense will be solid. And I think the quarterback play going down 10-15%, because I would say Brady overall, call me a hater, I guess, but I would say he was a top 75% quarterback, maybe 77, 78. I would take 20% of the league's quarterback play over his last year. Maybe it's the around him talent was the problem, but he did not play great last year. I think that's a fact.
Eric talks sports. Fuck Justin Warwalker. Okay, until he has that tattoo removed, he can fucking eat my shit for breakfast every day.
But yeah, Barbie, do you agree? Am I crazy for saying it? Like, I don't think Brady played Brady season last year. I think he played a top, 75% of the league quarterback level.
His last pass as a His completion was an interception.
And it's the weapons. I'm not blaming Brady, but I'm saying he didn't play great last year, and he couldn't. The team wasn't there, but they didn't win with Brady. They won because of the defense, and Belichick has a defense. So
Tom Brady is now in Tampa Bay, the Tampa Bay in freaking Gronkowski, Florida things. It's a-okay. It's cool. Belichick, I think you know.
Oh wow, J Love went way crazier than I did. Okay, I'm not going there.
I don't think that Belichick has the intention to tank whatsoever. Let this play out. Let this play out. I get that this is different because Bledsoe kind of got injured, and that was the end of his career once Brady came. That was it. Like that's different, and I get that. Brady wanted to experience free agency.
Oh, he was leaving, and I think they all knew it. And they were classy with it too. They just kept quiet. He's leaving. We know what's happening.
He earned that. They didn't laugh.
And Belichick was classy too. Let's give him credit. He did not bash Brady. He's like, Brady did what he wanted. We knew this was happening. It's fine. But really, top 16 quarterback? I would say he was a little better than average. But
who, Brady?
He said Brady was at a top 16 quarterback last year.
Brady's
I think he was like a top 8, top 10, top 9. But
I mean, I have to go back and look at something like that. And I'm not afraid to go and say that. I mean, I'm not going to say off the top of my head, but I mean, he wasn't great by any fucking means.
No, he was good, but
I mean, at the end of the day, to answer the question for the show, we don't believe that he's going to take. Like, it's just not in Belichick's nature. Some men are just too competitive. Just like some men want to watch the world burn. Some men are just too competitive, and they would much rather burn you at the same goddamn time. But yeah, I wonder if Tom Brady will have trouble building chemistry with his defense. Hell no, he'll be fine. He's too excited. He's too stoked, bro. He's too stoked. He's way too
I mean, he had a lot of turnover because they didn't pay the receivers that were being built there. Or they got rid of them, so. Yeah, I think he'll be better next year.
Let's see here. We are going to go ahead. I was trying to save the break. We're going to go ahead. We're going to take a quick break here in the middle of the show. Really quick, I want you guys to make sure that you download Thrive Fantasy app for all your favorite prop betting needs. I want you guys to definitely check out sportscaster.com. Download the Sportscaster app for sure. We are trying to get that interview with Bob Costas at the end of the month. A historian, a great in the sports world, an inspiration, if many of you will. So we're going to try and definitely get that done. So make sure you drop your views over there on sportscaster.com. Big shout out to Milk and Honey CBD. Big shout out to everyone that is supporting us, loving us, watching the show. We greatly appreciate you. And we are going to be right back here after this break on the other side of the show. We got plenty more to talk about. We're going to be talking about The Last Dance. We got UFC 249 picks. We got some more debates. You're here with the Rumboyz Fantasy Network live. We appreciate you guys. 1 second. What's good, ladies and gentlemen? We are back after a quick uh, commercial break. We appreciate all those that watch the ads that don't skip. Yo, if you watch the ads and you do not skip the ads, you are the realest motherfucker on the planet. Like you are the most chillest, coolest motherfucker to ever grace the face of the earth. Jake, am I right or wrong?
Man, there's a reason I have premium. Had to say that.
God damn it.
I dish it that $11 for a reason. So
Speaking of
good
this,
for you if you. Good for you guys if you.
we got this job monthly. We are going to have our membership service launching that. We got to sit down as a crew. We got to figure out, what we exactly are going to provide, what we're going to target, how we're going to take care of you. But we are going to have a premium membership service here on YouTube launching. We'll let you guys know what the starting prices are, shit like that. It's not going to be nothing too crazy. But, it's all love around here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. But we're going to set that up for you guys so you guys can get some exclusive content. Watch the ads or Corona is going to get you. God damn. That's vicious. Let's go ahead and dive right into the very next topic. There is no hesitation here. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rum boys and girls, what it do. Sorry, Jake, I'll let you hang in there. Dilly, dilly, brother. Woo. Is NCAA basketball, the prospects looking at the G League for a payday, in danger of borderline straining to death?
I don't think it'll affect them as much as we think long term, and I think Short term, it will be a really big hit on them because people are going to see it as a feeder system that is forgotten. But in the end, I don't view this as a bad thing when you have a 3 to 4 year player because if I had a player in college who was really good at any sport, which was in this case football, we had a guy, Derek Rivers. He played for the Patriots. He won a Super Bowl. I was there for 3 years and he was a star. So it's kind of like you saw a guy who was your guy. You knew he was your pro athlete, and overall it helped that we had a guy like that. In the NCAA, you might have a basketball player who stays 3 years and really becomes part of that college campus and ingrained in it. So I feel like it's going to be a weird where's our Zion, where's our star for the first few years. But when you get a guy that's like, oh, this guy's about to break a scoring record for this university. This is really cool. You're going to see, oh, I went to school when this guy went to school. We had 2 national titles with this guy when I was a 4 year student, and this guy was in one of my classes. I think it's going to help that long term, or break it even. I don't think it's going to destroy it, but temporarily it's going to be a definite hit.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I feel like it's a bigger hit than what a lot of us are honestly accounting for. If you're gonna tell me, if someone would knock on my door, me living if I were to still be living in Southeast DC at 17 years old, somebody knocking on my door senior like, hey, 500K or college? Motherfucker, I'm going to college. You know. So I mean, there's that. There's pretty much honestly my take. Long story short.
Yeah. The athletes have it better. I think 1,000,000% option's great, but I think people who are going to a university will attach themselves to a DC player in Maryland. Actually, LaMelo Trimble, remember him?
Mm-hmm.
3 year star. Yeah, people love him in there because he played 3 years of college basketball, and that's awesome. And he's more known there than he'll ever be anywhere else. And that's cool. And people could say if he won a national title, I was a sophomore. He was in my biology class the year they won a national title, and he led that team to a national title. And that's a cool thing. It makes it a college atmosphere and might actually help attendance in a way.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not going to help the overall branding for Nike to be there because Nike and Reebok are going to pool because they're not going to get the players. They're going to have to go to the G League to get their players legally this time.
No. The NCAA is already talking about bringing.
But I like basketball better for like a college aspect. I like college ball a lot more now that it's not one and done.
Like I just like, and correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like they're getting too desperate at the given moment because you're talking about bringing back the video games and you're talking about players making money off their likeness.
Hey, I love NCAA football, man. Bring that back.
You should have done this shit forever ago.
Yeah.
You should never even stop.
Blame Ed O'Bannon for suing them and saying you can't have this game until you pay us.
Yes, you are right. Bannon is a fucking dumb, as we like to say here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. So I 100% agree with you, but you're 10 years too late.
Yeah. The best football game of all time is NCAA 14 college football, by far.
I've said this multiple times on this show and on other shows. You know I know what players were getting a little bit of money before I didn't even when I was interviewing them. So you already have a fucking Migos chain around your goddamn neck. Like when Miles Sanders sat down next to me, and he's got that big ass Pittsburgh Pirates chain. It's like, bruh. You just got drafted and Adam Sandler just reported that you just signed your fucking contract. Motherfucker, you did not buy that this morning.
Yeah, I do like how the NCAA is doing it, though, if they're going to have to do it this way, because I don't think a cornerback deserves to get paid who's a backup at Clemson, like Trevor Lawrence does. I don't like paying them from the university. Just let them find their sponsors elsewhere.
Let them find their endorsements. The way that X Games get treated, okay, back when I was younger, I used to follow the X Games, and you used to have to get sponsored in order to get into the X Games. Like, you had to have someone sponsor you and pay for your way to like that. That was the way that you got in. That's the way that you really got on. Fucking get these athletes sponsored. Like, if they get a big enough
Or
sponsor.
they get themselves sponsored. I don't think the university should be in the marketing aspect.
Yeah, the athletes, the college stay the fuck out of it because you're a college.
Then the feds get involved. You do not want colleges knowing how these players are getting money.
But let the players and let the agents negotiate their deals. I feel like a stronger player agent bond is going to make for better entrepreneurs and businessmen and women in the future. Because this is just going to apply to male athletics. It's going to apply to female athletics as goddamn well. They mean to tell me that if you're in NCAA gymnastics, that someone like Dominic Dawes, someone like fucking Simone Biles, if you can get them to come to your college, compete, then plus also have a gold medal and do all this other shit, you mean to tell me that you're not going to rake in the bucks? You're going to rake in the bucks. You're going to have the McDonald's fellowship or the McDonald's fucking paydays and things like that.
There are the U.S. women that dominate in the Olympics as a freshman in college, and they don't get paid for swimming. And, oh, wait, you're saying they have to go back to being amateurs? They can't make money off their gold medal? Oh, no, she has to stay an extra year in college. Why not? Why? Because
exactly. You give me one reason why someone like Simone Biles should go to college, aside from an education.
There isn't one. I mean,
Girl.
But at least they have the Olympics, so they don't have to. That's the advantage. There's no option for these football players, which is the problem.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get it with like the football players, but I mean, every sport is gonna be impacted by this. And I think the sports that are severely gonna be impacted by this are the sports that we don't even really pay fucking attention to. The ones where those kids are competing for Olympic medals at age 13, 14, and then now college is knocking on their door, and it's like, okay, how can I still keep this going?
Yep. And another thing I think we both have to sadly point out is there are some screwed up families out there where they can't have an agent now, and now they're going to be able to do that type of thing. Where, let's face it, the uncle or the father that comes back into a person's life last second does not know best for their kids. But their kids are going to want them back in their lives, so they're going to listen to them as an agent, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you get a sponsor, you can hire a real agent and say, no, uncle, no, dad, you didn't care about me now. You don't, because you never cared about me then. I'm not going to let you handle my money or my business. I'm going to hire this lawyer who knows what he's doing to do it for me. Because he knows what he's doing. Because you've not been around for 5 years. I don't want you to help me out now.
And the words of a great rapper named Drake.
Oh, his dad took his money.
Even in the gym?
Yeah.
We went there. But
yeah, I just think this will take away the weird family. Oh, you owe us money. I'll manage your contract. I'll be your manager. No, you're getting paid by a sponsor to get a lawyer. They're gonna deal with it. We don't need this family stuff ruining a Kobe Bryant situation where he can't speak to his parents for 10 years because they sold all his stuff in his house without telling him. You don't need that because you had your dad as a scummy manager. That
I respect the fuck out of that tape.
I mean. No offense to Joe Bean Bryant, but I mean, the reason that you were not given props at your son's funeral was because you sold his old house and all his memorabilia. There's a reason he was not happy with you.
We got one more topic before we get into live sport, or two more topics before we get into live sports picks. And the first one that we're going to go over before we get into the next big one is how does the current state of the world, and we kind of just touched on this a little bit with NCAA, with a little bit of the NCAA basketball talk. How does the current state of the world, given the pandemic, affect the level of competitiveness in college athletics, given that that's the period where a lot of players peak? How does this affect the way they fully train?
There's going to be a lot of weird injuries next year in NCAA in all sports that are this early, and it's going to be a weird thing where it's if a player rolls an ankle, we're done. And there is no way you can tell a player, oh, well, it's the conditioning, you'll get over it. I'm a second-round pick right now. If I hurt my ankle, I'm undrafted. I'm not playing through this injury. There's going to be definitely lower leg injuries that you would not expect. And I'm naming football mainly, and other sports like basketball will be fine. They'll figure it out. But yeah, I don't see this being good for college football, even if they figure this all out and
Um,
figure out the fan situation. I don't see any way this is going to work.
well, I mean,
Because players are going to pull out quick. One injury in the off season, I know my prospects. I know how I'll get drafted. I'm out of here.
I think we discussed this briefly on Rumboyz after dark the previous night, and I personally believe that NCAA. I think you're already a dying breed given my last take. So the level of competition, the level of which you can breed athletes for the NFL, no. NCAA is going to be fucking fine. Collegiate athletics are going to be fine.
College football can fund a university. So yeah, why
Yeah.
would the NFL get a minor league system?
So
And I want to point out,
the NFL,
people rip the NCAA for ripping these athletes off. It's on the NFL to get a minor league system to pay them. It's not on the NCAA to use it. Am I wrong?
no, you're not wrong.
The NFL has to do something about it. Players have to fight for it because the NCAA. If I'm in that position and I could say I don't have to pay these players directly and I can make money off them, guess what? We're doing it. In a way, to get it going, we're going to do it, and it's a culture. It's part of culture. The NFL has to come in and say, "Oh no, we have this minor league system. Do something to help these athletes." And there's a reason it took so long because
The XFL could have been that. The XFL could have been that.
I agree. It failed, but let's not rip the NCAA for doing what is the easy way out because it makes sense for them to do this. I don't want to be like, oh, I hate the athletes. I care little about them. But if you're a business owner and you don't have to pay the people making you money, you're doing it. Like,
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you want to bring it to likeness, yeah. For me, I feel like this current world state that we're in does lower the level of athletics. Me right now, I'm being fucking honest. Like if you just tell me, hey yo, you have a game this week, you're fucking drunk. You're gonna give me 2 weeks notice, and I'm gonna get my body back. Like at least give me 2 to 3 weeks. And we're like, hey,
in college, who gets hurt? No way. I'm not playing. I hurt myself. I'm an NFL prospect. I'm not going to play for free at this university. Yeah.
you know,
Players do that now when they have a full training camp. You think they're going to stop when they?
bro, it's give me life or give me death, and that's the way I'm looking at it. I would much rather I don't. An injury to me is so close to death because I rely on my body so much, and I just love participating and competing at the highest level.
Dude, let's look at one of the classiest players of last generation, Alex Smith. He almost died and lost his leg, and he wants to play football. I love Alex Smith as a player. He's a respectable dude. But, dude, stay away from the game, but you're addicted to the game. I mean, good for him, but, dude, stay away from football. I know you want to play. Stay away.
Look, this stay-at-home stuff, stay-home shit,
Can't be helping you.
I looked at it from at first when this all started happening. I started doing research on the mental health aspects of it, and I was mainly doing it for a selfish reason, because I suffer from depression, anxiety, fucking PTSD, like all the shit the military gives you. I'm that typical fucking military veteran. I can't fucking sleep at night, all that shit, right? So when the quarantine first went down, I was like, all right, how do I keep myself sane? I remind, a couple people, I've been in a situation where I've had to be to myself solitary before. In this scenario, I have my wife and my kid, so it's pretty fucking awesome. That sounded tasty. That's cool and that's good and all, but I mean that shit is also a distraction for me. Even from operating the company standpoint, me, the way I operate the company is the way that an athlete would operate their body. Having to deal with my kid and my wife and things like that. That takes away time that I'm able to market. That takes away time that I'm able to create Snapchat because now we're now posting ads on Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook. We're going to start advertising every fucking where. And it's how do I design all these unique ads when I have I have to do an episode. I have to fucking feature on a fucking podcast. I have to make sure the whole fucking writing shit is straight. Then I gotta take care of. So I understand how these athletes must be feeling. Where it's like, I can't do my normal 2-a-days. I can't do my normal this and my normal that. I'm not gonna be doing hand cleans because I'm weightlifting in my house. My house doesn't have a basement, so if I fucking try and do a clean, as soon as I come up here and drop that fucking weight, that it's gonna bang on the fucking floor. I live in a townhome, so I get where a lot of these guys are coming from nothing. Are coming from. I think that we're in an era. You know how the WWE has eras? They have like the Attitude Era.
They have the I guess you call it 80s wrestling, the Undisputed.
Yeah, it was like the Attitude Era and shit.
Attitude Era. Then it was Attitude, Undisputed, and now whatever. TV 14 era, whatever. I don't watch anymore because of it, but
look at this as the raw talent era. The people that can just naturally fucking play football. And all they have to do is crisp up their techniques. Look for those to be the people that are real about their merge right now.
Yep. The people who I'm most concerned about is not the athletes, like the lean guys. They're going to stay in shape. That's what they do. I'm concerned with the linemen coming in super heavy. Because those linemen are heavy people when they play, but a lot of them do cut, and right now they really can't cut and get into shape. So you're going to have some, linemen aren't lazy because they do have to gain the weight, but if you tell a bigger guy who doesn't really have to worry about how he looks, and or how mobile he is in the off season, that he has an extra 2 months of that, it's going to be harder to cut the weight, and that's not going to be easy to pull off.
I think that the situation that we're in and the times that we're in, and I think that science is going to prove this later on, is that there will be some sort of a decrease, some sort of. We're going to see a tip-off of level of competition in athletes. Whether it's at an Olympic level or a collegiate level or a professional level, we don't know that yet. I think we're going to see something taper up. Whenever live sports comes back, we're going to be like, this guy doesn't pass the ball the same.
Well, Giannis said he's on lockdown from going to any public basketball hoop, and he does not have one at his house because he probably has one across the street, So, yeah, he said he's not touched a basketball since the season ended.
And
that's not going to... Well, he doesn't shoot the ball anyways, but it's still coordination of dribbling the ball. And that's still coordination of playing physical sports where you get hit and you get touched up every play. Like, there's still part of that you're going to miss. These players are going to be a little bit thrown off by it.
Last week was 50 days without sport. If I'm saying that my body hurts from not running and constantly doing all my normal shit, I know that they are hurting. Let's get into our next topic, and that is our episode review of The Last Dance. Bro, how are you feeling after what is it, episodes 5 and 6, dude? Cheers to
It's weird. It's weird that it went back a little bit, but I think it just showed the fact that Jordan was not a good leader, and he learned like everyone else does. Kind of humanized him in a way where he was not a guy that won all the time. It took him 7 years, as it does most athletes. It took LeBron 7 as well. Kobe. It took Kobe a long time to win without Shaq and become a leader. It just takes time to do it. And I think it shows that like a weaker side of Jordan where he had weaknesses in his career for sure. And a lot of it was the fact that he could not get along with people. And a lot of it was that he needed a guy to really rein him in Phil Jackson. Because Doug Collins was a failure as a player and coach. As a number one pick and a guy that couldn't win with Jordan. But it also, I think it shows indirectly that Pippen was huge in that dynasty. He developed, and they won. I think it really makes Pippen look good. Because Pippen does not look good in the media because he says some really dumb things. But people have to realize how important he was to this dynasty, where after the migraine game, and he became so much better, that he was very important in this. People don't realize that he's also a top 35, 45 player of all time. And I think it really shows that Pippen is a star, a mega star. at basketball. Just off the court, he didn't have the personality, but he's very important. And I'm glad it kind of shined Pippen a little bit to show you have to have teammates to win. You have to learn how to win.
What I found the most insightful about these last two episodes to me was it was only for about a couple of minutes, and Kobe pops up on camera, and I cried for a little bit.
Yeah, it's so weird seeing him on anything now. Like watching a game back and seeing Kobe alive, or seeing a picture of him on the internet showing his stats. I'm like, oh yeah, that dude died this year. It feels weird to even still think about it.
It's like 2020 is particularly tough. I mean, Australia was on fire. Kobe passed. We got coronavirus. Now we got murder hornets. UFOs exist now. Like everything is fucked in 2020, dude.
Like him dying was weird because like there was a stat of like who's better, this person or this person. Like it was debates and stuff of like between Kobe, LeBron, and Jordan. I was like, I don't think Kobe was better than him, but I want to put him over because Kobe just passed away, and I want to say Kobe's better just because of that.
When Kobe spoke up on the last dance, he was like, I hate when people ask me these questions about who was better or yada yada yada.
Doesn't matter.
He's like, I hate answering that shit. He's like. And he kind of, touched on it a little bit, but like just seeing that raw emotion and just how he felt in that time and that presence. I mean, that was one of the things that got me. Seeing him and Jordan pal around him, and Jordan was like, "Hey, call me at any time," and the coach was like, "I will, I got you," and like that was caught on camera, and to know that Jordan had like mentored Kobe throughout so much throughout his career was absolutely beautiful. I know a lot of you are saying that the Last Dance was overrated.
I mean, it's stuff we knew, but it's weird. It's just big because Michael Jordan doesn't speak to the camera.
Michael Jordan doesn't speak to the camera. Two, like there is a lot of stuff. Like there is a lot of stuff. Like there's a lot of stuff. Like if you're gonna tell me that, like, oh well, we knew about that. Like no, you didn't. Like there's literally a lot of stuff that like people. I'm hearing stuff from people back then. That they're like, yeah, I did not know that. I did not realize that.
And yes, I'm a Tony Kukoc hater because I did not bring him up. The first really big European name in the NBA.
Yeah, Tony Kukoc, one of the first big Europeans. I was about to touch on that. I was going to get to that. I found it best.
Jordan was a Tony Kukoc hater to begin with. Yeah. That's why he and Pippen tried to fight him during a game before they were teammates, knowing he would be their teamate. But I also knew that too, though. That was like 10 years ago, 12 years ago. Kukoc had his documentary and said that.
Once again, like we all, like a lot of this stuff, like we know.
But Jordan's speaking and validating it, which nobody would ever thought he'd speak.
Everyone is finally coming out, and everyone is finally speaking. Like Horace Grant selling Jordan up the river to Sam Smith, no one knew who Sam Smith's mole was. Yeah. We all knew that there was a mole. We didn't know who the fuck it was. Like, if he were asked, would you want to sit down with Sam Smith and talk? Like, I don't want to talk to that sign ball. Like, I don't want to talk to that guy. Fucking Jerry Krause. Jerry Krause was someone that loved the attention on him and what he did.
For sure, that was an issue. In
one of the most recent two episodes, I can't remember if it was 6 or 5. I think it was actually episode 5. He states, the team is really good, but the organization is great. You know what you say? There's a saying about people like Jerry Krause. Those that can't play, coach. And Jerry Krause
couldn't be coach. He had to be a GM. So
yeah, he was a GM. And because he couldn't play, and because of this, and he was a short, stubby, fucking fat ass, Big Mac McDouble eating motherfucker, that he couldn't get out of his own way. Even when the team was winning, when there were no Krause draft picks, when it was just Jordan. I found that fascinating. The Last Dance is simply fascinating.
You know what's cool about this? What I might take away from it the most is the NBA had its best run when there was no unrestricted free agency.
When there were no
Players,
fouls, when there were no fouls.
oh well, yeah, that I mean, but that was also due to the fact that it was just a generation of there wasn't as many threes, so the game was just naturally more physical. The players are more skilled today, so you'd have to play them differently today. I think they'd get around the physical side of the game, but the unrestricted free agency let that team stay together for 2 runs without anyone leaving because everybody could match the salary and overpay, which was huge for the league. And I get player movement, and I know people. I get the counterpoint is let players leave if they want to. That's fine. I like the free agency being players can leave, but it's better when good teams stay together for a long time. It's so much better.
Okay, let's bounce out your take with what I'm about to say. So yes, there was a salary cap. It kept the team together. Yada yada yada. Scottie Pippen got paid shit.
That's the problem.
Fucking fact that, bro, what it took to be a celebrity back then, and those off the court distractions back then. The distractions back then are not the same now. Now, you can DM an Instagram model. She comes to your room, you da da da, and then done.
She lights up the media, says you did this. Oh no, I didn't do it. I was hacked.
Now exactly. Now it's a completely different game. You know, you can go. I got hack card. You can like back then. What happened was what happened on the court and off the court. So I mean, I think that those things balance that salary cap argument out. Like,
oh yeah, I just mean for the game, for the level of the game, having the same stars of the same organization for 12 years of the 90s and late 80s was great. And I understand why it stopped. Players were not getting paid what they should have. And once Jordan retired, it's like, fine, let it go. Shaq broke the bank.
Dude,
and they couldn't match. And once that happened, it's like, okay, so teams will outbid you now. Let them go. We've lost this. Shaq really broke that system, but I would have loved to see the Heat stay together, replay the Spurs, have somebody come back like OKC come back, beat the Spurs the next year, and try to beat the Heat 3 years later. I wish OKC was still together, and I would love that, and so would Koo, obviously. But I wish teams had to stay together or had more incentive to stay together. Besides, you get next year under contract. I really wish they could build that year-long rivalry, or like 5 or 6 years you meet in the playoffs and square off. But it can't happen. I get it. Player movement's there. You're not going to get the same team. Half the roster moves every year, but it was a great camaraderie thing that I don't think you'll ever get back.
I love the take, and I appreciate the take.
And I like the players can get paid and go where they want. That's great. But as a fan, I wish we had this rivalry with OKC and the Golden State Warriors develop.
It's the belt the way that the Bad Boys Pistons the belt.
Because they stay together. Everyone stayed together. Yeah, if you could have OKC versus Golden State for 3 years in a row in the conference finals, that would have been awesome. Instead of Kevin Durant could leave.
It's athlete versus athlete at that point, not paycheck versus paycheck, not bank account versus bank account.
It's pride. And now it's like, oh, this person's paying me.
I'll give Jerry Krause as much credit. Krause made it to where that organization attitude could be taken by GMs. And now we're seeing that a lot more prevalent where GMs are stepping out in the forefront and they're like, bitch, I built that. I did that.
Speaking of that, who built the Warriors? Mark Jackson. No one gives him credit for that, but
no one gives him credit. Let's dive into your segment of the show. I'm actually going to Simon fans to take a piss during this.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. I might. I have the card up, and I might throw. Go. You can go now, and I'll throw the pick to you, and I'll have my counterpoint.
Yeah. So we do turn this show over to our Rumboyz.com, UFC, and
if you don't know the fighters, you could just pass on it. But
yeah. That's completely fine. You know, I know my shit. But I mean, we're going to dive into where Jake takes over the show. Jake.
So we're doing main card or the big name fights at least.
Should we start from the bottom up?
Okay, all 12 fights. All right, I have notes for them, so we can do it.
Well, I mean, we can breeze through the prelims.
Oh yeah, the early ones are pretty quick. Ryan Spann versus Sam Alvey. Span is the heavy favorite. He is 3-0 since he actually dominated on the Dana White Contender Series. And he has finishes on all three fights in dominant fashion. And he is a young, big, strong light heavyweight against a newer guy to the promotion, but an older fighter who started to fight later. I'm taking Span. Easy knockout, second round. I will actually type the odds into the chat if I can.
All right, so we got Span versus Ave, the lightweight.
Yep. Span's younger, bigger, faster, stronger, less experienced. This guy's older, has fought more, but not on this promotion, and Span's just starched his three opponents.
Which is why I'm going to go with Span from a roll with the
Heavy
high.
favorite, minus 420.
Yeah.
I put in the chat, don't bet that, by the way, unless you really like the upset.
No, absolutely. I'm rolling Span there. I think that we all know. I'm going to go with the guy that I called the Dana
We
White.
called the fight, man.
Yeah, I called. Yeah, I called Span before. I called him during the Dana White Contender Series before.
Cannot defend the takedown, though. But this guy does not wrestle, so you're good.
Yeah.
This guy, Span, got taken down like 4 times in a round and still won the round. That's how much stronger he is than most opponents. The next fight is Bryce Mitchell, minus 180 favorite, versus Charles Rosa. And I'm just going to give you this right here. Bryce Mitchell's the guy that had the twister. First one in like 12 years in the UFC. And he landed a twister submission, which never happens. So this is really not that big of a bet either way, but Bryce Mitchell is a up and coming big name. Don't know if he's a star yet.
I actually like Bryce.
I love him too. I pick him because I like him, not because he's experienced in fighting. I just like the dude.
Are you picking him over Rosa? Because I am picking him over Rosa.
Are you? I'm picking Bryce Mitchell because I want to see him walk out in that hunting camo shirt. In shorts? Oh my god!
Not the car. Where's the?
Oh man, he's just such a funny dude.
It's the fucking Masio. Yeah, the Masio.
He won a fight and talked about how he's gonna celebrate, and he's like, "I'm gonna go hunting possum." Literally, New Orleans dude to the heart.
Yeah,
Like, he's Theo Vaughn. If Theo Vaughn fought in the UFC, that's him, right? If Theo Vaughn could fight in the UFC, that is Bryce Mitchell. 1,000,000%. So this is actually a big fight. People don't really care much because it's women's, and I think that's unfair. But Michelle Waterson and Carla Esparza are fighting.
I'm taking Esparza.
As am I. And this is because this is literally the pseudo interim champ at this point. The winner will probably get a title shot. So it's not a big fight in terms of it's on the undercard, but it's a pretty big fight. Actually, if you were to bet that, Waterson is somebody I might bet just because she's an underdog. And overall, I think it's a close fight, but I think Esparza is going to take it to the ground and win the fight.
Oh, absolutely. Rosa Hall?
So, Uriah Hall and Jacare, not Ronaldo Souza. He goes by Jacare. Jacare is the favorite. And Hall's on a winning streak, but he actually had a full training camp. This is why I might take him. Because I think him being in Tampa and him being able to train a full 6 weeks with his actual teammates is a big advantage. Jacare Souza said all he could really do is some CrossFit training because his wife is a CrossFit athlete. And he did some basic box jumps, but he couldn't really train. All he could do is cut weight. So he's not been fighting or training. That's why I'm picking against him. But he's 40 years old. He could probably get the win, but I'm going to take Uriah Hall if I'm betting because he's the underdog. He can make some money.
I'm taking Uriah. You're right, because he is the underdog, and I just think that that's the easiest pick, period. Like I just think he's gonna come in there, he's gonna maul, he's gonna dominate, and I think we're
He's in
both.
his hometown. He's literally fighting an hour from where he trains.
Yeah, but that's for our middleweights. We did just so everyone reviews. We got the lightweights, middleweights, and the women's strawweights, upweight. That was our middleweight bout. Um,
Yep. And this is the big one. My favorite fight on the card, actually.
I love this one.
Fabricio Verdum is coming back. Heavy favorite against Alexei Oleinik. Some background. Verdum is a world-class BJJ specialist. He is motivated when he has to be, and his opponent in this case, Oleinik, it really is good on the ground in submissions, but Verdum's better than him in every possible way. If he's motivated, the question is if he's motivated. So I'm taking Verdum, obviously, like how I've been saying it. Heavy favorite. I wouldn't bet that, though, because he's minus 300. But overall, yeah, he's just a better fighter, and if he's motivated, which he should be if he's coming back to the UFC finally, I think this is a clear cut. This is his comeback, and he could probably make a run actually in the heavyweights if he has a good post-fight press conference. What's your pick, Robbie?
So I'm gonna go Oleinik here.
Right.
I watched Oleinik.
Hey, if you could bet that because 240 plus 240.
It's gonna be close. It's definitely gonna be close. But Oleinik did recently. I called a fight with him. God damn it! And I'm trying to remember who he faced. He faced someone that whooped the shit out of him.
But he won by
in Russia.
Yep.
God damn it!
He got knocked out by Overeem.
Yeah, Overeem.
But he won after that. I think.
It was Overeem. Yeah, it was Overeem.
But he won a fight after that by submission, and he's a submission specialist. So.
And that's what got him into this position here. So I'm gonna take Oleinik here. I want to see him take Ward to the ground. See if he can yank something off his fucking body and just make that big snap.
Yeah, Verdum, again, he beat the best heavyweights in history. Just he lost the people he should never lose to. So it's really tough for that fight. I hope he wins. I think everyone does because they want to see him make a run, and he's a well-known fighter. But that's tough. This one's interesting. This is probably the one I'm most questionable about, and the odds don't show it. Vicente Luque minus 170 versus Nico Price.
I did see that Mike Tyson training video, and Mike Tyson is going to murderize anyone that comes in the ring with him.
I watched Bisping's podcast with Luis J. Gomez, and Bisping's like, if I could last 4 minutes and survive the first round in a UFC fight, I would win that fight. And then he saw the tape, and he's like, oh, wait, no, I'm not fighting that dude. I don't care if he's 12 years older than me. No, I'm not fighting Tyson.
No, we're not fighting fucking Tyson.
But he would win, probably. He just retired, but Vicente Luque, minus 270 versus Nico Price, who last was seen with a big up kick on James Vick that put his lights out.
Yep.
Vicente Luque didn't show up against Stephen Thompson. I should say he could not land anything, and Stephen Thompson destroyed him. What's your take?
Luque could not land shit, and I am going to take Nico Price. I think Nico Price is faster than Luque. I think Luque, I think Nico Price is going to come in, and he's got that nasty fucking left jab that's just going to catch him on the chin and going to put that little bitch night-night.
And nasty leg kicks, too. That's the big difference.
Oh, the leg kicks with Nico Price, that question mark is like, it arises.
The switch kick, too. He landed that a couple times. I'm taking Vicente Luque for one reason. I think he's super motivated, and he's one of those guys who was pushed very soon. To the point, it's kind of dangerous to put that guy in that position against Stephen Thompson, but nobody knew he'd come back against that loss against Pettis like that. I think Nico's crafty, but whenever he gets those scary finishes, it's always off a up kick. It's always off a jump off the fence turn, do a switch kick, where he's in a bad position and just saves himself. I don't think Vicente Luque is going to let that happen. I think he'll take care of it and try to get back into the reasonable top four. Back contender status.
Has more experience, if I'm not correct, right?
Nico Price?
Yeah, I think Nico has more experience.
Yeah. He's been a veteran, I guess you could say, but he's never really developed his game. He's just kind of a wild fighter that throws stuff and lands. He's the one that screamed at Mike Perry. He's a showman and stuff. I think he could win fights for a long time against lower competition, but Vicente Luque I think could be a contender long term. He just got embarrassed by Stephen Thompson, which again there's no shame in that. But so this one's fun, and it might be a retirement fight or their last UFC fight. Pettis versus Cerrone.
Retirement for both of them.
Pettis might keep fighting. I think Dana might pull the plug on Cerrone and just be like, dude, we cannot let you hurt yourself anymore. But he can't cut you off a loss, so that's interesting. Pettis is a minus 150 favorite, so it's pretty much a pick 'em at this point.
Yeah, it's a pick Pettis. You gotta pick Pettis. It's obvious.
Yep, I think he has more left, and I think he won by a second round quick left leg kick right to the hip. Just destroyed him, wrapped around his rib and hip, just dropped him. In 2013 in his prime. I think Pettis has more left, and I think he's going to really hurt Cowboy. And I do not want to see the post-fight interview because I think Cowboy might be forced to walk away.
With that, here, let me go ahead and catch up with our guests over on Spotify. Just 1 second. If you guys haven't checked us out on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, make sure you definitely do.
So this next one, very controversial figure, Greg Hardy versus Yorgan de Castro. Hardy's favored. He's still kind of in the early stage. Every fight he took, he either cost himself the fight or he last second jumped in for a fight that he shouldn't have fought last time, and he lost to a much better, more experienced fighter. They're both very green fighters. It's just there's nothing around saying both are probably going to be much better in a year. Both are questionable in one aspect of the game. Greg Hardy's weakest point out of both of them is his ground defense. He cannot go to the ground or he's done. Don't know if that changed over a period of time. I doubt American Top Team's training too heavily right now with this condition going around. But, yeah, I'm going to pick Greg Hardy. I think Dana likes him for some reason and is pushing him, so I don't think he'd put him in a position where he can get taken down and beaten again. I think he wants to push this game.
I hate this fight, and I hate Greg Hardy, and I'm just going to be emotional with this bet, which is something you should never do. For anyone that's listening to this show, you should never be emotional with your bets or your fantasy picks. But I'm going to do that. And your Honda Castro, give me money.
Okay, yeah.
Give me money.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things. I think Dana does not, for some reason, loves Hardy, and I don't see it. I think he's 30 years old. That's pretty old for mixed martial arts to get into it, but. Yep. So next take with two people who are kind of likable. Calvin Kattar and Jeremy Stevens. Kattar is a 240 favorite. If I'm betting, I might take Stevens, but I might take Kattar here because he's flat out not good on the ground. But he can prevent some takedowns. He's very creative on the feet. His tank is a question, and this is why I don't love these odds. I think this is close to a pick'em because I don't think you can say anybody's tougher than Stevens in the UFC. I mean, outside of Habib. And that's what's scary there because Stevens is not really great at anything. He's great at dirty wrestling and just I mean this in a compliment. He is the best dirty fighter who follows the rules I've ever seen.
Like he's a scrappy motherfucking.
He's scrappy. He is the best clean fighter who I would see him fight and be like, this dude's so dirty. He's just underhanded. He's doing this, but it's legal.
Jeremy Stevens also gives a fuck about how he gets hit.
Yeah, I think though, Calvin Kattar will take care of him. I think it will be a second round finish. If it goes into the third, I'm taking Stevens because Stevens has a gas tank that is raged by anger, and when he's losing, he will go after you, and he'll just run into you, throw you into the fence, and throw elbows at your rib cage until you take him down. But he's not great at anything, and I think he's lived on toughness for a long time, and I think eventually, at his age, it might catch up with him. So this next fight, I think, might be the quickest fight of the night, but the most exciting. Ngannou versus Rosenstreich.
Well, I was just ain't no bitch.
Um,
But Nagano ain't no bitch.
so here's the thing. Um, Ngannou's faster. He's fought better competition, and he has an 8-inch reach advantage. That's a big deal
I'm taking Nagano.
for sure, and he is a heavy favorite. Rosenstreich was losing that fight. Let's be real. I know he cut the dude's lips off, literally, right? I mean, Overeem, that was gross. You see the video?
That was
Yeah, that was bad.
nasty.
It was also the last 5 seconds of the fight. So he lost 3 rounds, maybe one being 10-8. And he's slower, and he's probably 4 inches shorter. So I don't like his chances here. But I do agree with him that the winner of this fight should be the interim champ and get the next title shot after that trilogy's figured out. So the co-main is Cejudo versus Dominic Cruz. Cruz is a pretty good underdog at plus 180. First fight since 2016 against Garbrandt, by the way. So it's been a minute.
All right.
34 years old, 35 years old now.
I want to see Cejudo lose so bad.
So do I. So do I. But I'm not picking that.
Go ahead and do your take.
I think Cejudo is younger, faster. He's more elite on the ground. He is used to fighting bigger, taller opponents. And he always gets beat up the first round, but the second round he makes the right adjustment. Cruz is a smarter veteran fighter, but recently he has plantar fasciitis. He has stem cells in his Achilles because they're degrading. He's tore his ACLs and dislocated his shoulders, as well as has very sketchy ankles. And he's destroyed physically. I think a young Cruz could probably deal with this. I don't think this Dominic Cruz coming off 4 years of not getting hit could deal with this. I'm going to take Cejudo reluctantly. So I think the King of Cringe might win again and have some great post-fight presser and call it Jose Aldo when Peter Yan should get the fight because Peter Yan's the best 135er out there.
You're really going to call it Jose Aldo when he's like fucking old as dirt? Like,
do you agree? I think Peter Yan's the guy that deserves that shot. He can't speak English, I get it, but that Russian is going to beat Cejudo up if he has a chance. But yeah, Cejudo versus Cruz. My heart's going with Cruz, but man, I have to pick Cejudo. He beat the dude that beat him. So Cruz lost to the guy in his prime.
I swear, like
Cejudo beat.
Because it just aired, it literally like if I was allowed to turn this around and show you guys, it literally just aired a UFC commercial in the middle of us doing this. Fuck. And it just aired all the fights we just mentioned in our last segment for like last 15 minutes. From Pettis up.
Oh yeah, that's actually Pettis is the last undercard fight.
Jake, fuck it, I'm going Cruz. On Cruz. The man is getting him. The man is still moving.
Yeah, I think everyone wants Cruz to win, but I'm picking with my head if I have to. I do want to see Yan get a shot after this. Peter Yan deserves it, but he might not. Okay, so the main event. I think people know my take and yours as well. But yeah, I would say it again. Ferguson, second round stoppage, dominant fashion. I think Ferguson's quicker, has better footwork, is a better athlete, has less power, but he won't get caught. And I also think that Ferguson is better on the ground. I get Gaethje was a national championship wrestler, but he doesn't use it and hasn't used it. I don't think he knows how to anymore. Most guys who don't use it and forget that it's a useful part of their game with the striking never go back to it. And I don't think he wants to go there or will try to go there. So I'm taking Ferguson pretty convincingly. And that Khabib fight hopefully is next. That's all I could say.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this just like this, especially for all the prop bettors out there. Ferguson, early. Pitcher early 3:05 time frame.
Ooh, 305 in the first. Wow.
No, I haven't gone. I haven't stated the round yet. Third round,
Okay.
ground and pound, hammer fist. Left temple gets clock all day. JC on the ground. Ferguson wins.
If this gets to the third, I will instantly pick Ferguson, by the way. If this gets out of the second, it should be Ferguson's fight.
Bro,
Gaethje has to end this early in the first.
I'm picking it in the Rumboyz away jerseys, bro. I'm picking in the Rumboyz whites. I'm picking my whites. When I pick my whites, it's a good day. So I'm picking my white.
Yeah.
We haven't had sports picks in a long time. We're actually gonna chop this for a segment. And we're gonna reshoot this as another video later. Friday night, I am not asking the staff to join me. If they want to, they can. I know that no one has had sports in a long time, so they're going to want their own audio. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to call the fights. From prelim to end. Because I'm just so happy to have a job.
Yeah, man. Big card and it's a very divisive card. People don't like Tony, people don't like Cejudo, people don't like Hardy, and people don't like Rosenstreich. So the main card and the prelims are filled with guys that are very unlikable in a good way. It's marketing where you have guys that you're clearly supposed to root for. So I think it'll be an interesting thing there, which again, I think Cejudo might be at a disadvantage. I just thought about this. He loves being disliked, right? He feeds on it. It's his thing. It won't be there. It's going to be a sparring session, really, for a championship. So I think Cejudo, who walks out and loves getting booed and getting the crowd to hate him, I think he might be at a disadvantage here. But I don't think it'll matter. I think Cruz is so beat up.
And I'm picking Cruz.
Man, I'd love to see Cruz win that fight. I'd be happy to be wrong.
It doesn't matter. You're on record for picking Cejudo.
Oh, I am, yeah. But, man, it's going to be a fun card. It's sports. I mean, what else can we have? I hope the Wednesday card gets released soon as well, but Dana has to be super secret about that.
I know. I can't wait. We're going to be with you guys May 9th. Well, I'm going to be with you guys May 9th at the very least. We'll figure out, what everyone else wants to do. I got to do this for you guys. I got to do this for you guys at any and all costs. It's our first live sporting event, and I'm not going to miss it for the world. So, yeah. Sports are back. No. Yeah.
Well, for 1 week, man, we have the UFC has to get through these 3 cards in 8 days without having any positive test and any quarantine issues. Like, these fighters are going to have to quarantine in that hotel for a few weeks and be willing to do so with their families. Because if somebody gets this thing, goodbye sports for a while. So,
well,
but we get 1. We're guaranteed at least 3, I think. But after that, the UFC has to really hope nothing pops up because that would be awful. These fighters better be locked in their own room away from their families for a week after this fight or before their fight. Be like, no, do not get this thing.
Fighters pent up without pussy the night before. It's going to be crazy.
Question is, how do you cut weight in this? You can't have your trainer throw hot towels on you.
No.
You're cutting weight by yourself. How do you cut 20 pounds by yourself? That's pretty demoralizing, right?
It sucks. It sucks. You're by yourself.
You're sitting in a hot bath. Like, if I die, no one's going to know. Because people can't be in the room with me when I'm cutting 20 pounds by myself.
Let the people know where they can find you. Let the people know a little sneak peek into what you got coming up post-fight.
Well, hopefully it comes out in time, but I will be definitely writing an article on the next card when Dana White decides to stop being secretive about it. And I'll have my picks for that. And I'll have the one for Saturday as well when that comes out. I understand he's being secretive about it, but the state cleared you. Release the cards, Dana, please. Just say who's fighting. I would be glad to start writing now, but I get the top secret stuff, so.
Oh, yeah. Feel free to inbox fighters, bro. Get close up and personal with that story. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Rumboy Soda Z, NET, TikTok as well. I'm about to start just throwing up random shit on there. If you're there, I'm there. If you're available, I'm available. Catch me on Discord. Hit me up. Tag me in Discord posts 24/7. I'm ready. If you see a fucking Snapchat ad, if you see a Twitter ad, a Facebook ad in the coming weeks, share that shit. I'm about to start dumping money into that shit, to grow our audience and to get new people interact in these comments. I want to get I want to get 10K people in these comments. Um, so yeah, make sure you guys check us out. Give us clicks on rumboyz.com. Hit up rumboyz.com. Check out everyone's articles. We got the AFC and NFC draft grades up. Go ahead and check out the draft grades that are already posted by our writing staff. That's once again rumboyz.com. So go ahead and check that out. We're gonna have a new UFC article for you guys that are highly anticipating this weekend's fights. A fat ass fucking card for you guys. And Jake is going to be covering it front to back. So we're going to have plenty of content there for you guys.
Is that out of the editing process yet? I submitted it, but I don't know if it was cleared yet.
Did you submit one? If you submit it, we're going to get it up.
Yep.
But fucking, we love and appreciate all you guys that are fucking with us and interacting with us every day on any platform that we're on. Hit up rumboyz.com. Like our website, 24/7 fucking access. Our Discord, 24/7 fucking access. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Just because we are not on YouTube does not mean you can't find us elsewhere. Fuck with us in any capacity that you can. Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Yo, we're the Rumboyz. We're here to stay. We fucking love y'all. Fuck a pandemic. It can suck my dick. And that's my public service announcement. Cheers to me. Cheers to you all, the Rumboyz and girls. What to do? We out here.
Dilly dilly.
Dilly dilly, yeah, bitch.